So it was February 22nd, 2016. Christopher and I flew here from Hong Kong to Phnom Penh, and the minute we got in the car, he was adamant. He's like, I want to go to the temple. I want to go to the temple. And some friends that picked us up, Darowith and Lada, were like, we can do that. He's like, no, I want to go now. I said, no, we actually need to stop by the hotel, change, then we'll go. So we came here to Wat, it's called Wat Butum, Wat meaning temple, and we had no idea that there was a Buddhist holiday taking place. The driver let us off, we were wandering through the alleyways, and we just heard this music and these beats, and we were like, okay, what's going on today? We gotta follow this. And so we're following through to look at the music, and we come around the corner to this courtyard, and there's over 200 people, the most massive holiday, Buddhist holiday. So they told us we needed to take our shoes off, and he was so elated. He was like, Mom, we have to stay for the ceremony. And I said, of course we're staying. So we took our shoes off, and we came to the center of the courtyard here. And all the times I've been to Cambodia, it was just so interesting because this man came up and he spoke fluent English, and Christopher started talking to him and asking him what the celebration was about. And he was explaining to Christopher it is cleansing of the sins. And so we sat down, and I'll never forget, this beautiful Cambodian girl came over and snapped a photo of Christopher and kind of ran away. And then another group of them, little young teenagers, they were staring at Christopher, and he's just getting all shy and looking at me. And the one girl comes over and again in perfect English says, do you mind if I take your photo? And he said, of course not, yeah, sure. The other girl that had taken his photo previously came back over to him and apologized that she did not ask permission. So this was blowing Christopher's mind. He was just like, oh, this is so adorable. And so of course he said no problem, and they took photos of him, and they're giggling and just staring at him. And it wasn't me, it was just Christopher, which I loved. And he then looked at me and he said, so I guess it's okay to have your camera out, because we didn't want to offend. We didn't know culturally wise if we should be having our camera out snapping photos. And he said, so Mom, get your camera out. So he basically told me to get my camera out, which I did. And I took several photos of Christopher, one that I'll treasure forever of him praying. And he really got into the chanting and the praying, and I sat with him and videotaped the monks. I had a lot on film, and then I stepped up behind him and just watched from behind and got photos of him praying. And he was so grounded, more grounded than he'd ever been. Christopher had to deal with a lot of illness in his life, and anxiety and stress and not feeling well, and he was at peace. He was very grounded, and it was an incredible day. And we literally were here for 2 hours with him praying and cleansing of his sins. Of course I prayed too, but it was about him that day. And the Buddhists believe after he passed, they told me that subconsciously, consciously, he knew he was coming here to pass away. And that was very symbolic. As I said, we didn't know it was a Buddhist holiday. We literally came here. This was the first place that we came to visit at his first time to Cambodia in Phnom Penh. So it was very symbolic, and this will always be a very special place for me. And the first time I came back after Christopher passed, I wanted to come. I was almost like he was the first. I want to go to the temple. I want to go to the temple. And the exact same thing happened. Driver let me out. I'm hearing music. I'm like, wow, is it another Buddhist holiday? I come around the corner. Sure enough, 200 people in this courtyard. It's a Buddhist holiday. So I found somebody that spoke English. I said, what is the celebration? What is this day about? And they said, reincarnation. Yeah, so it's a very special place. It's hard not to be emotional because I remember like it was yesterday, him and I here together. And I've said this many times, I know that he is free of pain and he's happy. I feel his joy. It's the missing him. Selfishly, it's me missing him. And as I know, we will meet again, and I know that. This is just a glimpse of time. As a mother, it's just very hard. It's very hard. But when I come back here, I feel even more connected to him. I feel him right now very strongly. And it's interesting, a little background. When I moved to Hong Kong 2011, I finally had time to do philanthropic work because I had retired from the corporate world and I was like, oh, this is exciting. I never had time to do it before. And so I went all over Asia trying to figure out what is it? What's my calling? What do I want to do? What do I want to get involved in? And I went to Indonesia and Vietnam and Thailand and orphanages. I did all kinds of things looking and searching for what. But when I came here to Cambodia, I knew. I got on the plane, I was in tears. I was like, John, this is it. This is where I want to put my work. And then God put me in touch with Scott Neeson in Cambodia Children's Fund, and he's my brother now. And, the school, the Rice Academy, what we've been able to build here, it's food for the soul. It's been the most amazing experience, and I'm the one that has gotten the gift.
We thank you.
That was beautiful. Wow. Outstanding.
And we brought all of our kids here, but Christopher was the last one to come. And he just, after he saw the kids at CCF, he said, Mom, I get it. I get it now, what you're saying to me, how special this place is and how amazing the people are. And I'm just so thrilled and so fortunate that he was able to experience the children and to meet Scott and to walk the villages with Scott and the experiences that he had that week before he passed. But, him dying in Cambodia, there's just something very symbolic that maybe someday I'll understand. But this is home to me in more ways than I can even explain. And it just, even though I feel him with me every day, when I come back here, it's powerful. It's really powerful. And I'm blessed. I don't know many mothers that have the experience that I have of having this incredible spiritual connection with the people here, with the love here, with the children here, and with my son, Christopher. It's a blessing.